Commodity TV live here from the PDAC 2023 in Toronto. Yeah, and I am here, and it's my honor and pleasure to be here with one of the most successful mining persons of the last decades, I would call it, Keith Neumeyer, CEO and President of First Majestic Silver. Hi, Keith.
Great seeing you again. Thanks for the opportunity.
Great to be here. How's the show so far?
Well, I just got here. The weather's wonderful. I walked here from the hotel. It's nice and blue sky and warm outside, so it's great.
So no snowstorm as 2 days before?
No, it's been tough in Vancouver, and apparently here the last couple of days it's been quite cold. So I think we lucked out.
Okay. So for those viewers who do not know First Majestic Silver, you are one of the largest silver producers in the world. 3 silver mines in Mexico, 1 gold mine in Nevada. Right. And you recently announced a record production of more than 31 million ounces of silver equivalent for 2022. Right. So could you give us an insight in the company and in the mines and projects?
Well, sure. As you just said, we have 3 mines in Mexico. That's where all the silver comes from. It is Mexico. Of the 33, we're actually projecting 33 million silver equivalent ounces for 2023. So we'll have some decent growth year over year. But all that silver, as I said, comes from Mexico. The majority of the gold comes from Nevada. But we have 2 of the mines in Mexico also produce some gold.
Okay. Can you give us some numbers from the single mines? So the silver mines are nearly purely 100% silver production?
The Lincoln mine is 100% silver production. It produces about a little over 3 million ounces per year. The San Dimas mine produces 50-50. It's about a 13 million ounce producer, of which 50% silver, 50% gold. The Santa Elena mine produced about 9 million ounces last year. That's equivalent. Also about 50% silver, 50% gold.
Okay. Santa Elena, you have a new satellite project called Ermitaño. This will push the production. How much?
Yeah, the Ermitaño is really why that mine has been so successful over the last year, particularly. We came into 2022 projecting about 7.2 million ounces of production, and we ended up coming in at 9 million ounces. And Ermitaño, we ran into a very nice high-grade, predominantly gold area with some silver, but it produced more gold than we originally anticipated. And in 2023, we're projecting about 7.5 million ounces. We could hit another high-grade pocket like we did in 2022, and maybe it'll outperform again, but it's just too early to tell.
Okay. Last year, you acquired the Jerritt Canyon gold mine in Nevada. I think there's some production capacity free, so what are plans for this mine?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a challenge. It's taken a little bit longer than we anticipated. It's costing a substantial amount of money to really go in and really take care of the 15 years of bad practices that the previous owners did, and it's really a lack of investment. It's starving for capital. The mill needs to be modernized. The development, underground development, needs to be completed, which is basically running tunnels underground, to get access to the ore. Exploration is going very well, so we're very encouraged by the exploration success, but it just needs some more time to really get the ore out of the ground and into the mill. The mill has a 5,000 ton a day capacity, and it's only operating at less than 2,000 tons per day right now.
Okay.
So there's lots of upside.
Yeah, good. So in the last months, you worked hard on production and energy improvements. Could you comment a little bit on that?
Well, we converted the Lincoln over to LNG about 5 years ago now. And it used to be 100% diesel, and it was very successful. So we decided to convert Santa Elena over to LNG as well from diesel, and that was all completed last year. We've now actually expanded it, to include Ermitaño, because Ermitaño really was a pretty big engine and it needed more power. So rather than having half LNG and half diesel, which it was running on most of 2022, we decided to go 100% LNG, and that's now been turned on.
What are your plans for 2023?
Keep growing. We got to get Jerritt Canyon turned around.
Okay.
Jerritt Canyon is a high-cost gold mine. We need to get the cost down. The Mexican operations are going quite well. We're going to focus on exploration as well. We've got a big exploration program. We have something. We'll peak out a mid-year at somewhere around 30 rigs.
30 rigs,
that's
wow.
a lot of rigs, and we'll be we'll be drilling 245,000 meters of drilling in 2023. Okay. Big program.
Okay. Do you have any plans for additional acquisitions?
We're always looking, and obviously I can't really comment on that, but we're always kicking the tires. We're always looking for that next big silver mine. So silver mines are hard to find, but we always have our eyes out for them.
Okay. 31 million ounces silver equivalent in 2022. You mentioned 2023 will be
33 million.
33 and 24 more than 40 million.
Our goal is to get to 40 million by the end of 2024.
Okay.
That's when Jerritt Canyon, we're projecting somewhere between 180,000 to 200,000 ounces of gold by the end of 2024, which will get us to that number, 40 million silver equivalent ounces.
So you are also dividend payer. So what's the current dividend, and what do you base the calculation of the dividend on?
Yeah, it fluctuates with revenue. So it's 1% of revenue. So it basically, if the silver price goes up or gold price goes up, our dividend goes up. We had revenues in 2022 of approximately $600 million. We'll have revenues in 2023 of approximately $700 million. So 1% of those revenue numbers is what we pay.
So you do also have a very successful bullion store. We can see some products here. Where you sell your own silver, for sure. Can you give us some sales numbers of last year, maybe?
Sure, we had record sales. This is online. We have an online web store. If you go to FR.TO, you'll see a link to the silver e-commerce web store. And we did 11 million, actually a little bit over $11 million US dollars of revenue through that e-commerce website last year, which is about a 200% growth over a 2-year period.
Wow, that's heavy. Okay. What would you say, what sets First Majestic apart from the other silver producers?
Well, I think, our dedication to growth. 2023 is our 20th year in business. It feels like yesterday when I put it together, but we've grown pretty well every year. I think the only year we didn't grow was 2020, and that was due to COVID. We, as a couple mines, were shut down, as most people likely know. But other than that, we've grown every year, and we expect to continue that growth.
Okay, Keith. Sounds great to me. Thank you very much for your time and the insight in your company. Great. And all the best for 2023.
And to you as well. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Keith Neumeyer, President and CEO of First Majestic Silver. You heard it. Record production in 2022, and they will grow furthermore. So I would say check out this very interesting company, do your own research, and bye-bye from Toronto.